Welcome back to Social Club. We're going to be discussing Manchester United now. Liam's here. Louis van Gaal claims that Man United can win the title.
Not with that clown with a big, massive afro who he bought off Everton for a ridiculous amount of money.
you leave him alone. You leave him alone.
He's arguably our worst ever player, and he gets picked week in, week out. I don't know. Is LVG on drugs?
You're not using them right.
I don't think you're not using them right.
Using them right.
Even I was having this discussion with you earlier on. Even if you want to bring him on, last 10 minutes as he was bought. Well, that's what I thought. As he was bought, right. Last 10 minutes as the target man up front, either knock the ball down or head the ball towards goal. He's still poor.
Where is his best position?
His best position is
on the bench.
It's not. It's off the. He was brilliant for us. off the striker. Just being that you can just go direct to him. Know what your biggest problem is? You're hitting the ball too high. It's not his head he's good with, it's his chest. Start aiming at his chest.
Yeah.
Train.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder.
He was never a defensive midfielder. We signed him and we thought we were getting this defensive midfielder because he actually had a couple of good games against Liverpool in the Champions League qualifiers. And then as soon as we moved him up front, he was a revelation. He was scoring every week. And he was just brilliant at being an option. You could just ping it into him. He'd knock it down and then you'd start higher up the pitch. That suited us down to the ground. I don't know why.
LG has him as a ball player in the park.
But I made up he did because he basically paid for Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah.
Happy days.
I think LVG's whole. He looks like he doesn't care. You know, you see him on the side of the pitch, and I know a lot of people have said, you know, it's his own style or whatever. I don't care. If we score, you celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, you see Giggs running down the touchline and celebrating with the players. LVG's back and making notes. Yeah, we scored. What note are you making? Celebrate with the rest of the team.
Goal.
You know, look like yeah, exactly. Look like you care. Look like you want to do it for the team. You look like you're there to pick up a wage and get your name in the papers. You don't look like you want to do it.
He looked pretty angry against Newcastle though, but he looked like his head might pop.
I think that's because of all the grief he's been getting from the media.
Yeah.
You see him crack up at that journalist the other day, calling the journalist fat. Like, get a grip, you know, behave yourself.
I think he was on for. Think he thought Newcastle were going to win. He was on for one of those Lonsdale coats.
I'd never dig at Newcastle.
That's not a dig. That's not a dig.
You had to get it in, didn't you?
That's just a fact.
Yeah. And to go back to your original question about can we win a title, just for the off the back of the last two games. We drew 3-3, having been 2-0 up, let's face it, bottom of the league.
Yeah.
And the last 10 minutes they come back, and I think 3-3 was probably a fair result in the end, but that game should have been done and dusted. And what happened? Fellaini missed a header on the goal line to polish the game off.
Don't look at me like it's my fault.
It's all your fault. You brought over here to begin with.
If you'd Fellaini in a lot of games, right?
You didn't get at his chest.
Fellaini's got you guys out of jail in a lot of games this season.
Against who?
Against Liverpool, didn't he? Wasn't he sort of, you know, he's...
No, Martial, there's another one. Martial came on against Liverpool in his first game and he played through the middle and he scored a wonder goal. And I still think to this day he's a centre forward. He's a number 9.
You know what United did against us? Because it sounds really bitter to talk about it post-match because we lost. But like, you were really bad. Like really bad. And it was how many times your tactic was go long to Rooney over the top. And like, against Kolo Touré, pace for pace, I've never been more relaxed at someone running at Kolo Touré ever, because you're like, Wayne Rooney's a much better player. You know, he is a good player. I don't think he's, you know, there anymore, but he is a very good player. But he was never gonna. That was never gonna profit. And Martial's playing left mid.
Yeah.
And it's like, just swap him. Just swap him, because if you're gonna boot it long, at least have the guy who's going to actually stretch the defence.
At half-time, they changed tactics a little bit. I don't know whether it was LVG in the dressing room or whether it was Martial just decided, I want the ball, I'm going to play through the middle. And for the first 20 minutes of the second half, he had a go. Now, he didn't get anywhere, but at least he had a go. And more can be said from the whole of the first half, where he's playing out in the wing and he's completely isolated. You're not going to win titles by doing that. You need to score goals to win titles, and that is not the way to score goals. You want to have Fellaini playing holding midfield. Well, he thinks he's playing holding midfield. And you want to have Mata on the bench. That's insane. You're Man United. You're supposed to be attacking football. Yeah. Sitting watching, you know, happy for the grind out a 1-0 result. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy we won. Of course I am. And I'd take anything to beat Liverpool. But the way we went about it isn't the way we want to win titles. I must admit that
when Manchester United played us at the Emirates, I couldn't believe how poor they were. The only thing that I thought was good about them is that the way they kept the ball. Like in the second half, they kept possession, but it looked to me at that time they were just sort of like trying to hang on for pride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was really shocked in a way, but how poor they were, because normally United Arsenal games is like
at least have a go.
One of your toughest games, yeah. And I don't know what LVG saying that they can win the league. I suppose mathematically,
yeah, he's looking at it and
mathematically
thinking,
it's possible.
You keep slipping up, Leicester are dropping points.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not on a million miles.
What are we?
Yeah, I was going to say
7 points off top spot.
Yeah, so I was going to say
that it's not completely out of the question. But realistically, are we playing the kind of football that's going to win the league? No.
That's what I was saying. It depends in what context he was asked. If he was asked a question in, can you still win it? Mathematically, they can. 7 points is not you can. But with what I've seen, I mean, I don't understand United. Why did they get Schweinsteiger? To me, and Schneiderlin, and you've got Carrick, and you've got Fellaini.
I mean, we said it before. I don't know.
They should be getting a creative
we've
player.
defended this, and it's right, because Man United have had no centre midfielders for years. So I've got no problem.
Yeah, but I've got a problem
anyway. But
none of those players are creative, are they? None of those. They're all
no.
sort of holders. You want, Manchester United should be going out there and should be looking at players like Goetze, I think, or players that are going to create.
They've bought for the funk formation, and we did the same. We did the same in the summer. Everyone's buying for this two older midfielders, the 4-2-3-1, and what's happened this season? 4-4-2's become the new on vogue formation.
I just think that Manchester United, their transfer policy has been like a Galactico thing. Like, let's go out there and buy big to keep our fans happy. So let's buy. We're linked with Muller. We're linked with, we've got loads of money. But they're not thinking. It's a bit like I was saying earlier with Leicester. Leicester, when you look at their team, they're thinking about, or even when I was saying with Liverpool, where the link for Vardy comes in, I can see why. Because if you're thinking about how a team plays, then you start to think about players that will suit the way they play. With United, I don't think they've done that. I think they've just said, we're going to go big. Yeah. Buy in, buy that, buy Di Maria. Even if it doesn't suit the team.
I disagree. I think he's bought the players who he thinks is going to play defensive born football. If you see any other teams he's managed, they've all been defensive 1-0 wins. Grind out a result. But the fans don't want to see that. The fans want to, ultimately against any other team in the Premiership is just gung-ho, attack. And he can't take it because he can't score the goals to beat the other teams. And I think he doesn't have the midfielders to do it because he didn't buy any attacking midfielders. He bought Herrera. All right, he was injured for most of the start of the season. But, is he the man to come in? What happens if he's gone? Mattis not that kind of player, is he? He's certainly not a winger.
You haven't got that. For me, looking at United, when you played us, you lack that creative player. Like, say, we've got an Ozil or we've got a Cazorla, people like that. Yeah. You haven't got that player in the middle of the park who can create things.
I was much more worried when Mata came on the pitch.
Mata to me is more a guy. Mata to me is more a guy play in behind the strikers sort of thing. But where's the guy in the middle of the park who creates stuff? I don't really see it.
I think they should go back to one hold midfielder, and then you can have Wayne Rooney then sitting in front of the midfield, and then have Martial in front of him. That's what you need to do. Having two in there. It just gets rid of one of those creative midfielders, and suddenly you are. Do Man United really need 4 defenders and then 2 in front of them to protect when you've got such a good goalkeeper as well who doesn't need.
And people were asking at the start of the season why we weren't conceding goals. The reason why we're not conceding goals is because we play with 6 defenders. But playing with 6 defenders doesn't allow you to attack. You're not scoring goals either. How many 0-0s have we had? I think it was something stupid like 16 games where it's 0-0 at half time at home this year. Something ridiculous like that. That's appalling for any manager.
I always joke though with like Ferguson that he was playing like champ man on the Amiga when everyone else was playing Footy Manager, the latest one. Like he could literally put whatever out there. You don't have to worry about tactics. Just put them in a general shape and go for it. Van Gaal seems to be doing that. He's making baffling decisions in terms of the we had a little period where we put like Stuart Darling left back, but it was only ever like a temporary solution. Yeah. Ashley Young's starting games at right back, and you've got Darmian playing at left back.
Been one of their best players.
Yeah,
but they use him much better when Ashley Young went off that pitch and Darmian went to right back. And
because he's not a right back. Well, I know Luke Shaw is out for the season. That was a big miss because he was having the season of his life up until he got injured. So I mean, who else have we got at left back? I know Valencia's out for the rest of the season as well. That's 2 fullbacks, 2 world-class fullbacks, in my opinion, anyway. Valencia. You're gone. I rate Valencia.
World-class fullback.
Yeah, why not?
Just wind it in, Liam, will you?
Why not?
World-class fullback.
Well, all right, maybe post-world-class.
Only against us.
He's still some Pro Evo, to be fair.
He's still a good enough player to put in there at right back.
Yeah, well, maybe.
When especially with the injuries we've got at the minute. Rojo's another one. You know, I'm not trying to make
You all
excuses.
look great in your way-in, though. Let's be fair.
See Phil Jones's face, they look superimposed.
Oh,
Didn't it?
Were they not taking tickets off more deserving fans by being in the way-in?
Terrible behaviour.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
I've had a season ticket at United for a while, right? And see trying to get an away ticket, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's because your players are taking them all.
But no, there's some baffling decisions to be made. And the fact is, it's January. There's issues there. Go and sort those issues out. And again, he just seems to make mad decisions. And I got no problem with it.
Would you give him more money to spend? He might not be there.
Yeah, no, maybe that's.
Oddly though, I still think he can win the league.
Really?
Because it's so topsy turvy up there, and what Man United have done quite well this season is keep clean sheets, and they can just add a little bit to it. Rooney's, obviously prepared himself to come back to Everton, so he wants to look good. Obviously, when we sell Lukaku and we bring Rooney in, so he wants to look good.
No, you know what?
I take Lukaku all day.
That'll be the end of Everton Football Club. The day you swap Lukaku for Wayne Rooney.
Mate, wait till the summer then.
Do you really think he's coming back? I've heard you and Barry both say this. Rooney back in the summer? Yes. Fuck off.
Are Everton going to pay us $300,000 a week wages?
No, but who's going to pay? Who's going to pay us 300? That no one is.
That's why he's not going to move. He's not staying.
You don't think Rooney's good enough to go abroad? Do you think Rooney's good enough
to go abroad? I don't think he's intelligent enough to go abroad.
He would never go abroad.
He couldn't order a plate of chips.
Rooney is a number 10. People need to realise that. He starts as a number 9 up front.
Yeah.
What's aim in Spanish?
Okay.
What is the word for hair transplant clinic?
I think he'll be back at Everton.
I think maybe he'll finish his career.
But I think United have still got a chance. I just think the way the Premier League is, I just think they could sneak.
It's a weird one for me because because it's still possible.
Yes,
if we'd managed to get the win, there I'd have said absolutely not. And I really felt, I've said this on our shows there, I felt like there was a crossing on the stairs moment almost where we felt like we were just starting to creep up in Man United. We're kind of creeping down. But the fact just getting those,
show, don't you?
The what?
You have a laugh on yours.
United are still not playing well though, even though they won.
But isn't that the funny thing now that they're not playing well?
Yeah, but I can't
Hilarious,
see.
Peds.
There's no signs to show you that that's the team that's going to win the title. To me, they're going to go and consistently.
I think the goal scoring thing's the big difference to be made. And we were having this chat before. Is that I look at like Liverpool, Man United, and we're not even in that conversation at the minute. But generally speaking, if you haven't got a 20-goal a season centre forward, I don't think you can be. Look,
if only you had the Premier League's top goal scorer playing for you, then you'd be in a much better position.
What?
Us, idiot.
Joint top goal scorer.
Well, you want to say joint.
Well, we're going to sign Jamie Vardy out. We should be fine. £25
million.
£25 million. But I think you need to have that quality, not just one guy, but 2 or 3 guys. And that's what we say. Look at Man City. They've got Aguero back now. They've got Sterling, De Bruyne, Silva.
Even without Aguero, who's arguably the best player in the league for me. Yeah. Even without him, they're still scoring.
Arsenal have got, even though you've had injury problems, you're still able to put Giroud, Ozil. You've got Ramsey. You've got top quality attacking players. Exactly.
It's still City's to lose.
Yeah, I think it's between them, and I still think it's between them and then. I think ultimately,
I think City.
I think again, Spurs and Leicester are only a bad injury to one of the 2 key men away from struggling. If they keep them on the pitch, they'll be there. But yeah, we are them in regard. If Sturridge had been as fit as Kane, I think Liverpool would be right up in that conversation.
I think if United, even if we went out and spent 100 million on the best centre midfielder in the world and the best striker in the world, I still think with Van Gaal's tactics, we wouldn't be there. I think he really needs to change his outlook on attack. You can have 99% of possession and finish 0-0, but that doesn't win you titles.
No.
That's my opinion.
So winning the passing, not good, and winning the possession, you know a lot about that, don't you? You know a lot about that too.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Trying to win some stuff. Okay, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Can Man United win the title? Is the manager right? Is Liam right?
Always.
Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe, of course, to the Ball Street YouTube channel for more weekly social club content and loads of other brilliant stuff as well throughout the weeks, months, and years going on into the future. Cheers.